Hello and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, I'm Tony.
I'm Kendall.
Yep, this is my wife Kendall, and we are here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Now, before we get into the topic, I just gotta say we're at a really cool place that's only 11 minutes from where we live,
Yeah.
and we never knew this. This is our first time here. It's
Hidden gem.
Yeah, it's called Jungle Day Cafe.
Yes.
And we'll show you that in just a few minutes. But first, we wanted to give you our year-and-a-half update. So we moved here to Thailand a year and a half ago. We're from South Carolina in America. And we thought we would let you know what it's like living here in Thailand after a year and a half. So the first thing I would say, and see if you agree with me, is that I don't think we were comfortable whatsoever here for the first 6 months.
Right. I agree.
And that's just because, you know, everyone speaks obviously a different language. You can't get any further away from the United States than here, I don't think. And we had to get used to a bunch of different customs here, and we didn't know where to go to even get groceries.
Right.
We'd go to the grocery store, and you couldn't even read, like, what was it, laundry detergent?
Right. Well, and the thing is, when we first moved here, COVID had everything shut down.
True.
We didn't know anybody, so it's not like we had somebody here to take our hand and say, here's a grocery store, here's what to do, here's the restaurants, here's how you order. We figured it all out on our own.
That's true. So yeah, the detergent thing is you were trying to figure out which one was fabric softener and which one was actually...
was laundry detergent.
And everything's written in Thai. But you do overcome these things. You will ask for help. You'll find out what you like product-wise, because you're probably not gonna find the same name brands of things that you use every day here, or at least the same flavors and of stuff that you will back home. But after a while, you will start to figure out what you like, what you don't like, where things are in the grocery store,
Yep.
and things like that. Another thing we had to get used to is the different climate. In South Carolina, we've got the 4 seasons. And when we got off the plane, we flew straight into Bangkok. And it was at the end of March, beginning of April time period, which here in Thailand, that's the hot
That's
season.
the hottest time of the year here. March, April, May.
So when we got off the plane, whoosh, we're hit by the heat and humidity. And we have to get used to that, because it's gonna be hot here year round, but there are cooler times. In other words, let's just call them less hot
Right.
times of the year. I wouldn't say cool.
Yeah, because they have supposedly 3 seasons here. They have the hot season, and then they have the rainy season, and then they have the dry season. So the best time to come if you're just planning to visit is the dry season, which is cooler. So the dry season runs usually from early November through about early February. That's probably the best time.
And that would be the least hot time to
Yes.
come. And there's also smoky season,
Yeah,
which
it hasn't been that bad in Chiang Mai the last couple of years.
right? And you can't see the mountains or anything. What happens is that I think it varies, but normally around February till it ends at the end of April or maybe middle of May.
Yeah.
They have what they call the burning season, smoky season. You'll hear different things. And that's just where the farmers are burning their crops. All that smoke is going up into the
All
atmosphere.
over Southeast Asia. It's not
Right.
just Thailand.
Yeah, it's
Vietnam,
blowing
that's
all over the place. So it's hitting down south towards Bangkok, all the way up here to Chiang Mai.
And the thing about Chiang Mai, if anyone in the States is familiar with like Salt Lake City, how it's in a bowl surrounded by mountains, that's the way Chiang Mai is. So when the smoky season hits, everything settles down into the valley, which is Chiang Mai.
So then you got the rainy season, which we've had an interesting rainy season this year. Rainy season, it doesn't mean it rains every day. It means that it's gonna rain a couple of times, maybe a week. It means there's just gonna be rain in the forecast. But this last rainy season, they had some of the rainiest days they've had in, was it 50 years?
50 years, they had flooding. It was funny, when we left to go to the States, there was like some of the worst flooding that they'd ever had in the last 50 years in Chiang Mai. So people's houses were getting flooded. They had to take boats to get them out of some of their houses.
Yeah, just go back, 3 or 4 videos from this one, and you'll see the flooding videos. I think we did 3 flooding videos over a month and a half. So yeah,
A lot of rain.
they do get a lot of rain here in Thailand. Another thing we had to get used to here in Thailand, which isn't a problem now for the most part, is navigation around the roads. The best thing to use is Google Maps. It does work well. There's nothing that I know that works better. Not Apple Maps, nothing.
Google Maps works the
Yeah,
best.
stick with Google Maps, and your navigation will work fairly well. And getting around town, when we first moved here, we didn't have a car or we didn't have a motorcycle, so we had to use what's the equivalent of Uber. It's like Grab or Bolt. Yeah, there was a couple of things that we used. So that's how we got around for a little while until we were able to get our driver's license and all that here in Thailand. Now, every once in a while, you don't want Thai food, which is rare, but when you don't want Thai food and you want Italian or you want maybe American, Japanese food, whatever, comfort food like pizza or buffalo chicken wraps,
Yeah.
at first you don't know where to find this stuff. But after a while of being here and seeing reviews and going to visit places, you are able to find some of the foods that you're used to back home. Now, let's say you're from England and want good fish and chips. We haven't been there, but I've seen places
that
for fish and
really good
chips.
with fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips, things like that. So as long as you do a little research, you're going to be able to find somebody who's got a restaurant here with the food that you're comfortable with back home. But as far as Thai food, man, there's so many good restaurants around here all over Thailand. Anywhere we go, you can't go wrong. And just know that there's different specialty dishes in the north versus the south. So in the north, we have things like khao soi, hung lei,
Northern Thai sausages.
right, things like that. And down south, you'll find other delicacies, a lot more seafood in the south. Another update that we've had for living here a year and a half is we really became spoiled to the cost of living here.
Yeah, it becomes normal to you because that's what you have every day.
Yeah, we were in the United States visiting for like, what?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And I couldn't wait to come home just because of the prices of everything. I couldn't believe, I can believe it, but when you're away from the United States for a year and a half and you go back, you kind of forget what the prices are like.
Right.
Because we pay for a dinner in a restaurant. Let's just say it's a street vendor or one of the cheaper places. We can get 2 orders of Thai food,
2 drinks.
2 drinks for what in US dollars?
Probably like $3.50, $4.
Right, somewhere around there.
Total.
Around there. Yeah, that's for everything.
Yeah.
Total, 2 people. So in the US, we went to,
Well, even a Mexican restaurant that was just a simple Mexican restaurant when we were in Dallas, it was $50 for the 2 of us.
I about fainted. I'm like, man, you know how many times we could eat in Thailand for this? I'm like, man. And then you got a tip, and the tip was more
Yeah.
than we paid for our food here. So yeah, you're really gonna like the prices here. Good luck ever going back to your own country. Another thing I didn't realize that happened by moving to Thailand is that we are healthier. Now it happens gradually and you don't know it. And I only figured this out when we went back to went back to the United States, because I immediately started eating all the food that I used to eat before. And I take omeprazole for my stomach acid and things like that. Well, in the United States, I remember I took 40 milligrams twice a day. I came to Thailand, noticed it wasn't bothering me as much, and I went to 20 milligrams twice a day, and I'm fine here. Go back to the US, my stomach went crazy. My stomach just bothered me the entire time. I felt sluggish. Now we've been back for a little over a week now, and I'm feeling back to normal again. So
I would say in a more active lifestyle. I know when we went back to the States, all my friends were like, "You've lost a lot of weight." And I said, "Yeah, it just kind of happens here. I mean, we do work out, but just being outside more and sweating a lot." I think.
well, the weather's just conducive to
Weather's
outside
conducive
activity.
to doing things, walking around. So we are a lot more active. I feel like we're a lot more healthy here.
Now, one of the things we're finally getting used to here is driving. I know she's going to go off in a minute on this subject, but I drive a lot, both motorcycle and car. And driving here, and again, just got back from the U.S. Driving in the U.S., I didn't realize how easy it was. Mostly Well, because the lanes are wider. But the other thing is there's not motorcycles zipping all over the place in parts of the lane they're not even supposed to be in, which I'm guilty for that, driving my motorcycle here. So let me not act all high and
You
mighty.
can get parking in the U.S. too. You know, there's parking lots.
Right, which it's always hard to get parking, which is why I always take my motorcycle everywhere. But how do you feel about driving here after a year and a half?
When we first moved here and we started going out on the roads, I said, there is no way I'm ever driving here. It's too scary, not doing it. But then he would go away, you know, and I'd be like, I really need to go somewhere. And I hate having to pay Bolt or Grab to come and pick me up.
Right.
So finally in April, so about 6 months ago, I went and got my driver's license. It was a very easy process. I didn't have to do any testing, cheap, because I have my U.S. driver's license still. And I drive now. I don't like driving, but I will drive. I'm still scared every time we go out. I go out driving, but it gets better.
I always say we should do a video just going back and forth out of our own subdivision onto a highway, how many near misses you have.
Every time.
You can make a turn where there's supposed to be nobody and there's a water buffalo in the middle of the road. It's like,
dogs,
oh,
and they don't move. Nothing moves.
No.
It's like they just.
No, the dogs.
You're gonna go around them.
They're old looking, they're gray looking and everything, and they look old. We're like, man, how did these dogs make it so old? And then we said,
Well, maybe they're really just only a year old and they look old from.
maybe they're a puppy, but they already look old from living out on the street. I don't know. So now I want to tell you a little bit about this place that we found today, Jungle Day Cafe. Now, this is a place where you come to chill out and have maybe some desserts and some tea, coffee. They have your sodas as well, and they also have Thai food. So they do have everything you would need, all the creature comforts for eating. And they have tables all over this place. They've got top level, bottom level, and they've got all these neat places to see. The place is actually huge. Now they have this bar area up here where we're sitting. They had an interesting sign, and what it says is that they charge you 500 baht per pile of puke that you do. So in other words, they charge you 500 baht for each pile of puke. So the way we interpret that is, if you're going to puke, keep
multiple times.
just keep puking in the same pile, and it'll only cost you 500 baht. Now, I will say, I don't know if I'd bring really small children here, because there seems like there's a lot of places that they would fall off places and injure themselves. But if you're a coordinated adult, you should be able to walk around this place just fine and see all kind of neat things. I'm sure this place is beautiful at night. This, again, like I said, this is our first time here.
Yeah, we did a video a while back on Jungle Day Cafe, but that was actually in Mae Rim, which is about 45 minutes or an hour north of here.
Yeah, we didn't realize that they had one here 11 minutes and that it's really, really cool.
It is.
Now, in the center of everything is a rice field. Now, this rice field looks like they're just starting to plant and get it revitalized. I'm sure whenever it's grown and filled in, it's absolutely spectacular there in the middle. They also have a resort attached to this place with little villas, and each one seems to have their own pool, which is really nice and gorgeous. As you can see, it's a beautiful day, and this place overlooks rice fields and it overlooks the mountains, and it's back here about, I'd say, 20 minutes from a bigger part of the city of Hangdong. From Old City, it would probably take you about 25 to 30 minutes to get here, so it wouldn't be too bad of a drive. Now, there's also something that we noticed when we parked that's across the street that looks like some sort of amusement park attachment to this place, which we have not been there. Don't plan on going to it today, but one day we will go there and we'll show you around. But I think we'll go there when we have some guests to show around. But anyway, that's all we have for you right now. We really appreciate you watching. And for those of you who want to subscribe, or why should you subscribe if that's what you're asking yourself, We do a lot of videos on Thailand, cost of living, real estate, restaurants, things to do and see here in Thailand, primarily up north in the Chiang Mai area. So we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe if you feel so inclined. Buy us a coffee. There's a link in the description. We'd really appreciate it. And we like to end our videos by saying thank you in Thai, which we end up by saying Khap Khun Kap.